Hi, it's Pam from Pam Rocks 50, and I'm here today with my Aunt Annabelle, and we're going to do a makeover. We're going to call it Facelift in 15, although it's going to take longer than 15 minutes, and it's not really a facelift, but it's showing how you can look fresher and younger in just a few easy steps. She doubts it. She's not sure. And we're doing this as a dress rehearsal, really. I'm going to do a similar program at my work on next week. So I've done her makeup before, but today we're doing it for YouTube and in preparation for the audience that I will have on Wednesday of next week at my work. So Annabelle is a beautiful woman of, what's your age, Annabelle?
34.
34?
84.
Plus 50. And you're going to be, she looks good even without makeup, as you can see. She looks fantastic. I have her hair back in a little kerchief so she won't get any makeup in her hair, because she's a beautiful blonde like I am. But without further ado, we're going to get started. I have cleansed her face, and I have applied this moisturizer. It's just a perk that I got in one of my many purchases from Sephora or Ulta. Murad Hydrodynamic Ultimate Moisture, but you know, any good moisturizer will be fine. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I'm using, oddly enough, I'm using this foundation of Annabelle's, which is called It Cosmetics Confidence in a Compact Serum Foundation. And she told me she didn't like it. I said, well, what don't you like about it? And she said she didn't like anything about it. So we're going to get started on it. Here it is.
I tell you, that's not good, and it's too dark.
It's too dark, she says, and it's not good. But we'll see what we can do with it, won't we? We're going to spritz the brush. I'm using this Tarte Cosmetics foundation brush. We're going to spritz it with this Milani Make It Last, very inexpensive primer spray, or not setting spray. That's what that is. So now we're going in with this. I'm just going to swirl this brush in here, and then we're going to see if this foundation is any good or not. We'll see. So we're going to, Annabelle really doesn't need a lot of coverage, as you can see. Her skin is good. She is one of the lucky ones. Not much in the way of unevenness or discoloration, even though I know from personal experience, because I lived with Annabelle most of my life, that she worshipped the sun heavily with just baby oil.
I still will this summer, too.
You still will?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to put on your face?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing for a while, for an hour or so.
So wow, that looks so good. Look how good that looks. Amazing. As you can see, it's a pretty good match. Yeah. Regardless of what others may say, it looks fantastic. And then we are going to use, should have had it all laid out, but I don't. We are going to use some corrector. This is LA Girl Pro Conceal High Def Concealer in light peach, I believe. And we're gonna put this just in the troughs of her eye, just there, to hide the troughs. That's all we're gonna do, right there. Oh, got too much. Just in the troughs, as you can see, just in that circle, that half circle, not a circle. That's right there. I don't know if I can get you to see that or not, but we didn't put it all over, just in that deep indent right there. Can you look up and let them see? I mean, lean forward and let them see where I've put that. Okay, thank you, Annabelle. Then we're just going to tap that in. Tap, tap, tap with our finger. Get that in that trough. It helps a little bit. And then I'm going to do the other side. Tap, tap, tap. Got a little bit too much, but that's okay. Okay. Now I'm taking MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20. Putting a squirt of this on my hand. We'll put a squirt and a half on my hand. Now I'm going to ask Annabelle to lean up like she just did. And we're going to go in there again. So we're going to get the eyes good. Okay. Now we're going to use this concealer sort of as a highlighter. So we're going to go in the places we want to bring forward. That's just right here. Right above the eyebrows. That'll look fresh. Right along the nose, just the middle of the nose right there. And then along these little troughs along the side of the nose. Got too much. I probably should have used only one little pump. And right at the edge of the chin, we're going to do it there. Do it right there. And then we're going to take a little bit right there, and that's right almost at the bottom of the ear. A little swipe there.
What's that supposed to do?
Well, we're contouring and highlighting, so we're going to use that. Now, that's what that will do, because we're going to bring those areas out a little bit. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap with my beauty sponge. And this is the Morphe sponge. In all the places that I put that concealer, that Pro Longwear concealer, I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Now, Annabelle, would you lean forward and let them see how that looks tapped out? Okay. We're going to bring that to the temples, which I didn't do. Okay.
Now, was that light or dark?
That is, it is sort of light. It's NW20, and we're look up, Annie. In our family, Annabelle is known as Big Annie, even though she's only 5'1" and about 120 pounds. But we want to differentiate her from my granddaughter, who is Little Annie, and she is 4 years old, and she weighs 37 pounds. So that's why she's Big Annie.
Well, she doesn't look like she weighs 37 pounds, does she?
She might be 35. It might be 34. I might be making that up. She might not weigh that much, but okay.
Tiny,
she is a tiny little thing. Then we're going into Park Avenue Princess, and I'm taking the light shades from this palette. Oh, sorry. It's like a pinkish one called Halo, and a yellowish one called Enhance. Ooh, got a lot there. And we're just pressing that over the areas where I put the concealer. Gonna get some more.
Do you do this every morning to yourself?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh.
I do it every morning.
I'd be tired by the time I got to work. I'd have to lay down.
They frown on that at work.
They don't want you to lay down.
They don't want me to lay down
What kind
there.
of people are they?
I know, exactly. Okay, now I'm taking this Laura Geller New York baked Balance and Glow Illuminating Foundation in medium.
Well, her stuff's supposed to be good.
Yeah, it is good. And I got this. I actually bought this in a set. And it was to get this, which is my very favorite French Vanilla and Portofino highlighter. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff so much. And the only way I could get it was on QVC in a kit that was, I can't remember what this costs. I think it's $40 some dollars. And for, I know, and for $5 more, I got this, this foundation and I think it was an eyeliner too, I think. Anyway, so no brainer, I bought this set. And I thought, I'll never wear that foundation. I love this foundation, it's so good. Now, I do not use it strictly solely as a foundation. It's my, it's not my primary foundation. I use it in conjunction with others. And I take it along the parts that I did not put the highlighter on. So around the areas that I would normally contour, which I'm not doing too much of on Annabelle's face, around those parts, that's where I'm doing this setting powder. I'm using it as a powder, not a setting powder. And I'm just using it on the darker areas of her face. Then I am taking this brush right here, just a big fluffy brush, and I am using my Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, you shouldn't be using that powder on her because she is, you know, over 50. But you'll see, it works out just fine. It doesn't accentuate her wrinkles, or the few wrinkles that she has. She doesn't have very many wrinkles. Annabelle, would you now look up like this? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use that Laura Geller Balance Illuminating. It says illuminating, but it really just looks like skin. There's no shimmer or anything in it. It just looks like skin. Just a slight glow to it, but like a skin type glow. That's it. Now I'm going to use this brush right here. It is an e.l.f. brush. And I am going in to a tiny little bit of contour. I'll just get this Park Avenue Princess palette that I already used. And I'll use this light matte shade right here. I'm going into a little bit of that. And I just lightly got some of that on my brush. I got a wild hair on my brush. And I'm going at the top, very top of her ear. And I'm putting just a little dab of that there, at the very top of her ear. A lot of times with contour, we have a tendency to go too low and to go down here. But you want to go up higher, so you have the illusion of a higher cheekbone. I don't know if you can see where I'm putting that. It's right at the very top of the ear. And notice I don't go in very far, just a little bit. Now, Annabelle has a big forehead, so we're going to put a little bit of that powder right there to try to recede it a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit more. And we're just going to work our way right through here. And now, Annabelle, would you look up a little bit? And we're going to do the jaws. I do this every morning before work. I have them a lot worse than Annabelle because I'm overweight. I have a lot of stuff that droops down. Okay, and we'll do a little bit nose, not much. You won't even be able to tell we've done it. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in with this Laura Geller in the baked vanilla or the French vanilla on a little brush. I think it's a Mary Kay brush actually. And we're going to put it right at the tippy top of her cheekbones. And right at the tippy top of this cheekbone. And right here, just a little bit more. And it is so subtle. So nice and brightening, but not overbearing. And I'm taking my finger and I'm putting it into both. And I'm going to put it right above slightly and just rub it in real good. Her upper lip. And then take what's left over. I might get a little bit more on my finger and just do that. That looks fantastic. Look in the mirror, Annie, or in the monitor.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Now I'm taking my big brush and I'm just going to blend that all together now. Okay. Now we're ready for some blush. Typically Annabelle uses a cream blush, but I don't have cream blush because I'm so oily. I'm going to let her pick from these two. One is a pink Mallee blush, the other is Tarte Party blush. Which one would you prefer?
I think this one.
This one, she chose the pink one. So I'm using this pink blush right here. And I'm dabbing that in like that. Now, when you're trying to look more youthful, you don't want to go down below your nose with the blush. So we're going to keep it up high, right about midway where the eye is. I'm going to put my finger right there and lightly tap it back. Now I'm going to go in with the other one. Okay, will you turn? Just right on the cheekbones. Annabelle has nice cheekbones, so you can see them so well. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit right there, ever so lightly. Okay. Now let's look in the mirror now. Go up forward. Let's let everybody see. Oh, doesn't she look lovely? She's lovely without it. Okay, now before we even began, Annabelle chose this Tartelette palette. It's entirely matte, and that's what we're going to use on her eyes, since we've pretty much done with the face. And I'm going to use this Laura Geller, it's a sponge tip applicator, and I know we've all thought that we shouldn't use sponge tip applicators. This is so fantastic. And it came with the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten, no, the French Vanilla and the Portofino. It works so well. And I'm going to use a little bit from this palette. I could use some French Vanilla because it's the perfect shade right here. And I'm going to put this all over her eyelid. Just close your eyes and we're just going to put it all over. Oh, isn't that pretty? All over. And I'm lifting her eye up just a little bit so that it won't settle in the wrinkles there. Okay, that looks awesome. Okay.
Take it off.
You gonna take it off? Okay, we'll fix her hair in a minute. You'll be amazed at that transformation. Okay, now I'm going to get a brush, and this is just a regular old pointed crease brush, and I'm going to get this brush. This is a Morphe M433, and I'm going to go into that color that Annabelle, Big Annie, picked out for her blush, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to put it in this transition color right here, the top one, which is Force of Nature. I'm going to marry those two colors. Now, Annabelle has hooded eyes because of age, so I'm going to lift up very slightly and just put a little bit of definition there. Very slightly. And we're going to do the same thing on this eye. feather and out and upwards. Okay, then I'm going to take the more pointed brush that I showed you. This is an old Mally brush that I got in a kit. And I'm going to go in to one of the deeper shades. I'm going to use this Dreamer shade right up here. I'm going to tap lightly into that and tap it off. And I'm going to go into just a little bit lower and more towards the outer edge of the eye. A little bit lower and towards the outer edge. Go back and forth and blend that out. Oh, it looks fantastic. Okay, now I am going to go in with this little flat brush right here, and I'm going to spritz it with this Make It Last setting spray, this Milani, and I'm going to go back into French Vanilla, both sides, on this Largeller Duo, or any, you know, any satin or matte cream color. And I'm really gonna put it on the mobile lid. Really gonna tap that on there. Okay, we're gonna tap that on. Tap it. Go. That looks good. Okay, then I'm going to take this angled brush right here that I always use. It's a Real Techniques angled brush. Going back into that shade that we used, Dreamer, and also a little bit in Multitasker, which is the eyeliner shade. We're keeping Annie up, just back and forth. And then I'm lifting slightly, and I always like to lift the eye, so I'm putting this at a slant right at the outer edge of the eye. As you can see, I'm making a slight V there. Somewhat stamping, somewhat blending. And doing it again for the other eye. Sort of slanting it at an upward angle and making a slight V there in her outer corner, like this, in the outer corner. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to take a very fine eyeliner brush like this. Again, I'm going to wet it. This time I'm going to spray the formula on my hand, get it wet. Then I'm just going to run the brush through it. I did this morning and it's still dark. And I'm putting it in the black. And a little bit in the brown of that palette. And if you would close your eyes, Big Annie. And I'm just laying it ever so lightly at the base of her lashes at an upward angle. Okay, lean forward and see, let him see how that looks. Ever so lightly at an upward angle. Just stay up there, Annie. Just at the outer edge of the lashes. The base of the lashes. Let me see. Yeah, that'll be all we do. That'll be all we do. Now, and Big Annie's not going to like this. We're going to curl her lashes. She's not going to like it.
No, I never ever do that.
Okay. Just open up slightly. Open slightly. I'm going to just curl gently. Okay, open slightly.
Ow, you got my skin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, open up. Okay. And we will put on some fantastic mascara. For this operation, we're going to use the It Cosmetics Superhero because I won't have too many coats, so we'll just go in with one of this Superhero. It Cosmetics Superhero. Open up wide. Open wide. Oh, now we made a little error there with the mascara, but not to worry. We're not going to fool with it. We're going to let that dry. While that's drying, we're going to go in on the other side. Okay, just open wide. Curl them a little bit. And mascara is something that Big Annie often does not wear.
Hardly ever do I wear it.
She wears foundation and she wears blush and often lipstick. Let me see, Annie, look at me. But she often will not tolerate mascara or eyeliner. Usually neither one, actually. Okay, that's good enough. We'll call that good. Okay, now we're going to do her eyebrows. Of course, we're still waiting for that mascara to dry. And I'm going to just brush the eyebrows up on each side before I go in. Annie has some nice brows. She doesn't need much help. And we're just going to go in lightly and following the shape that she already has and just slightly define. This one has a little less brow than the other side, but we'll just try to mimic what's over there. Then we'll brush it through to make sure it doesn't look too heavy. Okay.
There's your lid for that.
Okay. Now we're going to go to lip lining, and that's very important. Big Annie needs that, as do I. As we age, as you know, we lose a lot of volume in our lips. So I'm going to ask Big Annie to use her kerchief that we had and just wipe off the lip balm that we put on before this whole started. Did you wipe it off?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to line her lips. And I like to go, I do not overline, although I would love to. I'm just going on the outside of the line itself. So outside of the lip line. Okay, look toward me a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to line on the bottom lip, the outside of the line only. Big Annie is like me. She has very pigmented lips. And that is a blessing and a curse, but we're going to take care of it. Okay, now I'm going to fill in a little bit. Look, sort of make a look like this. Okay. Now we're going to go in with, I got this at a Sephora, as a Sephora Perks Point Plus, you know, gift, free gift. It is Bobbi Brown and Neutral Rose. And we're going to use that today. Let's see here. And we're going to use this little brush that's actually meant to be an eyeliner brush, but we're going to use it for lips. And I'm just going straight into this lipstick in the neutral rose and rubbing it over that lipstick. And then we're going to fill in her lips a little bit. Do the bottom lip. And the slanted tip is a lot easier for applying the lipstick, especially as you lose some of your volume. Now, the secret to really plumping up your lips a little bit as you age is to put on some lip gloss. So we're going to use this Buxom White Russian, and just use that over the center of her lips. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a Q-tip and see if that mascara is dry now. And it's almost dry. We're just going to flake it away. Okay. And I'm going to, okay, look wide up. Okay, and that's gone. Now, Big Annie is looking good. And okay, now we're going to do her hair. Well, actually, first we're going to go ahead with a spray just to take the powder look away, if there's any, and I really don't think there is any. Okay, I'm going to just slightly spray. Now, notice I'm not, and this is just Evian facial spray, any facial spray. Notice I'm not going underneath her eyes. A lot of times I feel like it can be aging. Now, especially with eyeliner, but now with some powder eyeshadow, you could do a little bit. Look wide. But you don't want to do much, or you run the risk. And I'll tell you how I know this, although I see it on YouTube all the time now. But back in the day, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago, before I was ever even knew what YouTube was, I was doing my makeup the way I had always done it, and it was we had a group picture at work, and I'd put my eyeliner on like I always did, and oh my gosh, I looked like a clown. My eyeliner looked like it was down there. And so that's when I knew, hey, I'm too old to do this stuff. So that's when I stopped doing that. And I'm going to pause this for just a minute, and we're going to do her hair, because that's an important part of giving a lift. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Big Annie just told me I had a lot of makeup here, enough for, what do I have enough for, Big Annie?
An army.
An army. So if you can imagine an army coming at you with a lot of makeup, that's me. Okay, now we're going to do her hair. So bear with me. Now, we like big hair, or at least I like big hair. So
I like big hair too.
Big Annie does too. So using this this comb, you see the teeth are wide, so I'm not doing any damage. But I am giving her hair some direction. I can start at the roots and go back toward the ends. Start at the roots and go back towards the end. And my goal is to lift it all up and away from the face for the most part, until we get the look we want. Now, Big Annie is of the school where you roll your hair. You don't blow it dry, you don't flat iron it. So she puts rollers in her hair, and by the time she gets to me, we've had enough of it fall out and we can get a pretty modern style with it. So I'm gonna just, the perspective is different from up above, so let me look now. Oh, that looks fantastic, Big Annie. Now we're going to take some Suave spray. And lifting as I spray, I'm just going to lift a little bit at the roots or wherever I want some definition. Okay, and then just turn slightly. Now, Big Annie doesn't like hairspray in her hair, so she'll wash her hair tonight or tomorrow, I'm sure.
Tonight.
Tonight, yeah, I thought so. Okay. And you can't see the back of her hair, but it looks just as fantastic as her front. Okay, zoom in close.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Zoom in close and close your eyes.
I think you might need to put some hair down here.
No, okay, we'll do what you want, Big Annie. Annie likes to hide that forehead.
Where there's a place there where.
Are we? Okay, now zoom in. Zoom in close.
Can they see me?
I don't know. Look at yourself in that mirror right there.
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
Doesn't she look beautiful? She's so pretty. Close your eyes and let them see your eyeshadow. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. Sit down, Big Annie, for a minute. Then we'll go have a cocktail.
You will have a cocktail.
I hope you enjoyed this, and I don't know if you learned anything. Maybe you already knew some of this, but maybe you'll put some of it into practice. It really works. Thanks. Bye.